Well, this is, one of these great Chicago stories.
The story starts as early as 3 months before the actual flood, when utility crews found several feet of mud, clay, and water already having leaked into Chicago's underground network of tunnels. Tunnels once used for coal transport, package delivery, and utility lines to downtown office buildings.
Office of Underground Coordination was formerly known as Board of Underground, and Board of Underground was established in 1910. So after the Chicago flood in 1992, it got established as Office of Underground Coordination.
We have three main groups or areas within the Chicago Department of Transportation Division of Infrastructure Management. There is the design review process, which is headed up by my colleague Sheetal James. There is the permitting process, which I manage. And then there is the field portion, or the inspectors, which are managed by Matthew Peterson, another colleague of Sheetal's and mine.
The City of Chicago is unique in that it has its design, its permitting, and its 811 call centers all under one roof. And that's here under Division of Infrastructure Management. Anybody doing a new installation in the public way needs to get an OUC first. While that OUC process is going on, our PCO group comes in to help coordinate that project. The goal of the PCO is to prevent duplicative work in the right-of-way. After that process, the people working the public way can get a permit, and then the permit must be obtained before they call our 811 center to get a dig ticket.
811 Chicago, how can I help you?
By the time an entity gets to us in the 811 center, they've already had that work designed and coordinated in a way that will prevent damage to existing utilities in the right-of-way. In tandem, OUC, permits, PCO, 811, we're all working together to make sure that those existing utilities do not get damaged when people start digging.
So the PCO is a CDOT contract that's managed by Sheetal James and by the OEC. So we're a separate contract. We're a group of consultants hired on by the city, and our primary role is coordinating construction conflicts and events in the public way throughout the city of Chicago. We just wrapped up our weekly focus group meeting, which is a forum where we gather utility owners and other stakeholders through the city to discuss locations of construction overlap and try to find ways to resolve those conflicts so that it's mutually beneficial, ideally for all parties involved.
First time I went to a CGA conference in 2016, Chicago was red all over in the map on the damage prevention. And we came back, we took it seriously, we looked it up, why this is happening. We see that people are not paying attention. We took the message out, and the minute they all knew that City of Chicago is taking the enforcement, things dynamically change it. The damage ratio start going down, and what I proudly say that our utility members support this effort for the damage prevention, because they pay for it, that enforcement, they pay for Office of Underground Coordination, they pay for 811 centers. So we don't charge, unlike the other call centers, we don't charge anybody for per ticket, but they support that operation.
That coordination isn't just insular. It's not, we don't operate in a silo. The best way to do all these things is to maintain communication. So we have multiple weekly meetings with the stakeholders to talk about their designs. What are they doing next year, the year after that, 3 years out? We ask for these outlooks. So we have an idea of what's coming down the pike to make sure that if we, the city or the state or somebody else has a large project coming up, everybody's aware of that. So that's the underlying purpose of our division, the Division of Infrastructure Management, is to not only have an idea of what's in the ground in the city of Chicago, which is important, but also to make sure that utilities and the city itself are not stepping over each other, trying to get their facilities in, or trying to repair their facilities, or restoring something that we know is going to get cut into 6 months from now.